good morning. It's 7:04 on this Wednesday, April 20th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Coleman and Company, hello, good morning. Welcome to our program. It is a Wednesday morning, of course, and I'm going to put the phone back on hold. My guest is on the line, who I was conversing with and not paying attention to MJ this morning, but Bob McDonald is here. And Bob, good morning to you.
Good morning. And,
you got
quite a start to our show this morning.
Yeah, you got the signal, so we're okay.
Yeah.
Just a crazy start.
Glad I could be of.
It's live radio.
That's right. LSU. Right?
Live, spontaneous, and unrehearsed.
Yeah, that's what makes it great.
It is good to see you. And, of course, we always remind people that you are president and CEO, Cedarstone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson. Simple banking, simply better. And
that's good, and it's good to be with you. And the place is looking great. I didn't know MJ would be in there so quickly, but, man, she's all lit up in there. And so this is taking good shape.
It really is. New carpet on the wall in there, so that's good for sound effects or whatever. She's got a new board, and that's a temporary one, actually.
Okay.
Going to get a bigger one that's supposed to come and can do more things. And then that one, I understand, will go in the production room. But that's the way it is. And it's the whiteness that you see, white paint. Paul Jewell has been good with the paintbrush here for 2 or 3 days. And it's looking
good.
great.
I enjoyed MJ being in the room with us for those few weeks. But it's good to see her back in her control room, and things are getting back to normal.
Well, how are things at Cedarstone
Things
Bank?
are great. Yes, things are terrific. We had our monthly board of directors meeting yesterday, and we have those on the third Tuesday of each month. And we also, yesterday, at the conclusion of our meeting, we celebrated our 18th anniversary. Coleman, we're 18 years ago yesterday, we opened our doors and we reflected back on that day 18 years ago. And so we had a very good meeting, and as we do, this was a meeting that followed a quarter end. Mm-hmm. So we always reflect back on the previous quarter, and we looked at some highlights of the quarter. We also will then take a peek into the next quarter and what do we expect to accomplish here in these next 3 months. So we had a great meeting. We have a great board, Coleman. You know who they are. Kevin Bay is our chairman. Jackie Cowden is our vice chairman. We have Victor Nixon. We have Brownie Vantrease. We have Don Moser. We have Mike Moscadelli. We have Dr. Bancroft O'Quinn. So people who represent the community in different ways, different vocations, different professions, people who are committed to the community, committed to the bank. It's customers, it's shareholders. So we've got good folks there, Coleman, and so we're excited about what we've accomplished in these last 3 months, looking forward to what we will accomplish in the coming months.
And, of course, what you've accomplished from the beginning. What did you say, how many years?
Yeah, 18 years.
18 years.
Yeah, that's hard to believe. I told folks yesterday as we were all sharing some reflections, when we opened the bank, we opened up simultaneously in Lebanon and Mount Juliet. In Lebanon, we were in temporary quarters in what was then the Signature Jewelry Building, which is now the building behind Verizon. And then in Mount Juliet, we were in the Rainbow Plaza. And, we could see out 8 to 10 years. That was pretty clear. But beyond 10 years, it's just that's never a clear picture for any business. What will you be doing in year 11 or 12? But I tell you, we've had some really great accomplishments. Proud to serve, and 18 years. It just seems like it was yesterday that I was talking to you about being a customer and buying some stock. So you've been with us from the very, very beginning.
Yeah, and it's been a good ride. It really has. Yeah. And one of the things that you developed and have sponsored along the way, of course, the Teacher of the Year.
Yeah,
and that's
great segue. Two quick things before we finish up with free checking. Because I know you got Mark Hinsley on the line, and Mark, Susan, and I look forward to being at your luncheon today. And Mark, if you'll give me a call when you get through, I need to ask you a question. But tomorrow night, from 6 to 8, Fight Fessington House. We're pleased to be the presenting sponsor of reception there that is designed to bring awareness to the Fight Fessington House, the great work that that board has done in the recent years to renovate that home and bring it back to its grandeur. So that's from 6 to 8. I think all the tickets are sold. They've done a great job. Alexa Moscadelli and I have worked closely on this, so we're looking forward to having about 125 people there tomorrow night.
And you make some money to continue on.
Exactly.
Keep it going.
Exactly. It's a fundraiser, and they're going to raise a lot of funds to help them continue their mission, and it's going to be a great evening. And then the very next night, this Friday, is the 24th annual Wilson County Teacher of the Year program. We'll be celebrating 35 winning teachers who've been chosen by their peers as Teacher of the Year from their respective schoolhouse. Can't wait for that. We have about 150 people coming, teachers, their guests, principals, leaders in the community. So we cannot wait. My partner in crime, W.P. Bone with Wilson County Motors, we've been doing this for 24 years now. So looking forward to that. And thank you for your support. You've always been so kind with that by having the winner come out. And I thank you in advance for working that out this year as well.
Well, you always say you don't know until the last minute. Is it the last minute yet?
It is. It is last minute.
So you do know.
I did find out yesterday. I had to sign some checks that included that person's name on it, and but I had to sign some letters. But I do know, and we can all be proud of not just this one person who's the Teacher of the Year, the Wilson County Teacher of the Year, but the other 34 who represent greatness in teaching across the county. Well,
I just appreciate myself, and I think the community and the teaching profession appreciate what you and Cedarstone and WP and Wilson County Motors do to make this happen.
Well, it's a real honor, real pleasure to play a small part with uplifting that profession.
Let's talk about free checking.
Okay, free
30
checking.
seconds.
Let's do it. 30 seconds. Free checks, free online banking with bill pay. You can use your ATM anywhere in the world, and it's free. We've got customers who are traveling abroad right now, customers who are traveling within the U.S., and they'll call and say, hey, I'm going to be traveling, make that notification on my account, and we see where they're using that card. And so
and those fees get reimbursed.
Your fees get reimbursed. You can come into our bank and do your business with us. We love that, but if you prefer doing your business electronically, we've got great programs with that as well, Coleman.
Well, you sure do. And thanks so much for being with us. We'll do it again next week.
Great being with you. Look forward to hearing you and Mark. Mark, don't forget, give me a call when you get through.
Bob McDonald, President, CEO, Cedarstone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson, Simple Banking, Simply Better. 10:30 after the hour, and I'm going to the telephone, and let's talk with Mark Hinsley. Mark, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Coleman. How are you?
I'm doing well, and it is good to hear your voice. I'm glad to know that you're busy. When you're even too busy to make the trip up here, we know you're doing your job, and things are happening, and they're supposed to when you head up a Chamber of Commerce, right?
Well, I'll tell you what. Busy is an understatement this week, and I'm going to share with you a little bit about what we have going on. But to Bob and anybody else that's listening that may have had a monthly luncheon on your calendar for us today. Today's the first time in many, many, many years that we are not having a monthly luncheon this month in April. We'll be back at it again in May, but we have a special event that we've been working on for probably 8 months going on this week, and that requires all hands on deck, and I'll share a little bit about that, but no luncheon today. So, but Bob, I'll still give you a call.
All right.
If he's still in the building, hats off to Bob and WP and their vision. I went to a number of those when they first started, and if I'm not mistaken, the very first Teacher of the Year that was recognized on a Friday night at Cumberland University was Alexa Moscadelli, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm thinking back then there were probably maybe 25 schools that participated. I'm not sure, but he said 24 years, 35 teachers. Two things are very apparent. We are growing, and I'm getting old.
Well, the getting old beats the alternative, Mark.
You got that right. I plan on living forever. I tell them so far so good. That's my plan. So, Bob mentioned, when they started 10 years out, was about as far as they could go, because who knows what's going to happen after that. It gets real difficult. I feel like sometimes in our world, 10 days out is quite a stretch to have a plan, because what I'm working on this morning is not exactly what I thought I'd be working on last night. But we are so excited and have worked so hard. And I've got about a minute left, and I'll tease your listeners before we go to break. We're doing the Mount Juliet Chamber's largest ever membership event, and we've got the 2-day event yesterday and today. We're starting early, finishing up before supper time, but we'll have nearly 100 volunteers, different businesses that have come together to help grow our membership. And yesterday alone, just yesterday, we had nearly 100 new investments into the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce. And when we get back from break, I'll share a little bit about my thoughts on how that is fantastic for all of Wilson County.
Well, congratulations. That's a big number, and you're just halfway there as far as the time goes. You're doing it again today. So, all right, we'll take our break here. Mark Hinesley with the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce is on the line, and we'll talk more in a moment on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota, Red Max, complete inventory, weed eaters, blowers, hedge trimmers for the commercial user and homeowner with up to a 4-year warranty. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We've seen more radar out here than we have accidents. Just give yourself a little bit of extra time as traffic starts to build 24 through the Hickory Hollow area. All the traffic coming in from Rutherford County through Davidson County. Again, traffic's on the increase. I-40 through Mount Juliet. That Wilson County traffic busy in the normal spots right now. If you're injured in an accident, you're going to need a good attorney. You need Tillman W. Payne, attorney at law. Check him out today online, tillmanwpaynelaw.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway, across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
This is Kenneth Hackett, and I am running for Circuit Court Clerk. I served with the Tennessee Highway Patrol for 33 years and retired with more time in Wilson County than any trooper in the history of THP. I have worked with the court system 33 years and have a working relationship with all law enforcement agencies. I have proven that I am a dedicated public servant, that I have integrity, and I am a trusted leader. I am asking for your vote on May 3rd or during early voting. Paid for by the committee to elect Kenneth Hackett for Circuit Court Clerk.
It's time for a change in Wilson County. I'm Philip Warren, and I'm running for county mayor to provide a fresh perspective, proactive ideas, and lead with integrity. I believe in term limits from the courthouse to Congress. After 12 years, it's time for new leadership. I will lead as mayor as I've led in the past, with a focused vision and the goal of making government serve the citizens of Wilson County. Proven Republican, proven leadership. I'm Philip Warren, and I approve this message.
It's back, the Whip Crackin' Rodeo, April 22nd and 23rd at the James E. Ward Ag Center. The rodeo will be held in the covered pavilion, so rain is not a factor. Whip Crackin' Rodeo, April 22nd, 23rd. That's Friday and Saturday night at the James E. Ward Ag Center. The event starts at 7, gates open at 6. Tickets can be bought at whipcrackinrodeo.com. That's whipcrackinrodeo.com. No G in Kraken, whipcrackinrodeo.com.
All right, we welcome you to Coleman and Company as we continue here on this Wednesday morning. Mark Hinesley, the the president CEO of the Mount Juliet West Wilson Chamber of Commerce, of course, is with us, and he comes once a month. Actually, he's on the phone this morning, but back to you, Mark, and pick up where you left off.
Well, hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate everybody hanging on through the break, and I'll share a little bit more about what we have going on. I mentioned we're in a day 2, starts here in just a few minutes, of a 2-day membership event that we've been working on, and volunteers and our leadership team for probably 8 months now. We brought together yesterday and today nearly 100 volunteers to reach out and share with others about the benefits of belonging to the Chamber of Commerce. And when I talk about a membership for the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce, this is what we're doing. But any business anywhere, USA, in my humble but accurate opinion, should actively support their local Chamber of Commerce, because it doesn't matter whether you have 150 members in your little town or you have 5,000 members. Any town, USA, the Chamber of Commerce is the largest business organization, bar none, in town. And a business that is enjoying prosperity and being a profitable enterprise and not supporting their local Chamber of Commerce, makes it a little bit more difficult for the people pulling the wagon if there's more people riding in the wagon. So you don't have to go to things. In fact, it's those things that really are just icing on the cake. Chambers do a lot more than just that. And I'll follow that up with, businesses are what help keep our property taxes low. We want things. Consumers want things. Residents want things. Visitors want things. And our elected officials, they absolutely have more demands than they have money. And decision makers, legislators, elected officials, they have to, and we elect them to make the best decisions possible to provide everything we want on very limited resources in a lot of ways. Businesses add money to the kitty, if you will. And when your businesses are profitable, it lightens the load on property taxes for everybody else. And when businesses are thriving, that's how we take care of our educational needs, our needs for senior citizens. It's how we thrive with our keeping property taxes low, because there's only 2 ways to raise sales tax, in my opinion. Get more people to put money in the kitty, or get the people that are putting money in right now to spend more. And I've often said, I think most people spend about all they're comfortable spending. So we need more people. And when businesses grow, I've never had a business yet tell me, well, I'd sure like to sell something to them, but they live in a different zip code, or they live across a particular line. Commerce is so interchangeable now. It's not even just in the neighboring town, it's in the neighboring continent. And so we help expose goods and services, products available, services available to people in our community that may not otherwise know they're even here. And any business in Wilson County that supports a local chamber, whether it's Watertown, Lebanon, or Mount Juliet, is one more opportunity for Wilson County to capture those sales tax dollars. And I just fundamentally, the core is, to me, it's the success of every business in Wilson County is good for Wilson County, no matter what their address is. And if you're a business owner and you're going into a certain community somewhere and you're taking money out of that community and making money off of that community, in my opinion, supporting the Chamber of Commerce is the right thing to do. So anyway, we're sharing that message this week. We're going to culminate it this afternoon. We'll tally up and see where we're at. We're going to have a celebration party tomorrow afternoon here in Mount Juliet. And then I think Thursday we're going to catch our breath. On Friday, we're just going to catch our breath. It's been a good week.
Well, a good report on that, but you're just about halfway there, it sounds like. So today's going to be a big one.
today's going to be a big day, and I'm responsible for bringing the coffee this morning. And if I drove all the way over to Lebanon, by the time I got back, the coffee may not be hot enough for them. So that's my reason for calling in. But, you know, we talked off air, you know, one of our biggest cheerleaders, and she raised the bar pretty high for everybody else. Tracy Pope and her team at Vanderbilt Hospital, Wilson County, they must have had, I don't know, 15 or 20 people on their team. And guess what she did? Not surprising, knowing their first-class operation, but she had baseball jerseys for the entire team. I told you, I think she could have outfitted an entire team and a bullpen to go with it. That side of the room was nothing but black, Vanderbilt, what looked like a baseball team, and the enthusiasm and energy, it was over the top, and it made it just set the tone for an amazing day. And so thank you to Tracy and everybody at Vanderbilt for first-class operation, and we are so happy to have their unbridled support and the enthusiasm. It means a lot. So,
Well, Mark,
appreciate all that.
Mark, let me interject this here too. Vanderbilt did play Tennessee Tech yesterday, and they beat Tennessee Tech. That team in East Tennessee didn't, as you might recall.
You know, I have to wonder what those people in the stands at that ball game thought yesterday when the entire baseball team was wearing T-shirts because somebody came in the locker room and took all their baseball jerseys. They're going to have to return those before they play their weekend series, I believe. So I have to tell you, I'm a diehard Indiana basketball fan and have been since probably since Bobby Knight in 1975 almost got them there and then finally won it in 76. But I was a Chicago Cubs baseball team. We didn't have cable TV or anything growing up, so it was my dad was a Detroit Tiger fan, and I didn't care for the alternating pitcher or whatever you call it. So I stayed a Cubs fan. And I believe it was 106 years between their World Series. So baseball was not something that I got up every morning and did, but dribbling a basketball was, more higher on the list. So, but I do know they have a first-class team down there. And I told Tracy yesterday, I said, I'm not going to be surprised if Kim Corbin doesn't walk through the door everything you've done for us. So, I want to remind everybody, before you go maybe to points yonder to spend your money, that's probably not a good word. Check with your local Chamber of Commerce. There are businesses all over Wilson County that would love to grow their businesses in Wilson County. And Chambers of Commerce, I think, can be a big help with that. It's good for Wilson County, for any business in Wilson County, to be prosperous. And, we're lucky. We're fortunate. We got a lot of things in our advantage. In fact, sometimes I feel like, all I got to do is keep this on the rails. Like it's kind of hard to screw it up in chamber world when you're in such a thriving and prosperous area as Wilson County. And, we got, we could talk one of these days about our taxes too high, our taxes too low. I think that's kind of like talking about affordable housing. Is it affordable or not affordable? You might as well be talking about, is it too hot or too cold? If you want to go ice fishing, I'd say it's too warm today. If you want to lay on the beach, it might be a little bit too cold. So sometimes just looking through the lens of other people and getting their understanding, while they may not agree with you, that doesn't make either one of you necessarily right or wrong. And I'd like to see us talking about appropriate taxes. Taxes are too high or too low. I think it should be appropriate to what you want. If you want really good schools and you want a first-class WEMA and you want well-paid sheriff's deputies, and when you climb in the ambulance, you want somebody in there that's trained, that stuff costs money, and it's not free. And, in fact, it's getting more and more expensive, as we all know. Well, business taxes, businesses pay a tremendous amount of the taxes. And let's all work hard to keep all of our businesses, whether it's the little boutique or flower shop or auto repair store, salon, or a big manufacturing plant, or a distribution center. Every single person in all of our businesses out here are making this prosperity possible, and we're grateful to them. The chamber is, we don't make or sell anything. We connect a lot of dots. We promote all of Wilson County. And if you have any questions about how to grow your business in Mount Juliet, West Wilson County, I hope you'll give me a personal call, Coleman. And I see my clock says 7:29 and a half.
Well, mine doesn't, but that's okay. We appreciate your comments this morning. I think you've kind of been on a roll here, and portraying the picture is seen from the eye of the Chamber of Commerce and a director, and what all it means, and how important community is, and as well as how important it is that we spend our dollars locally. But thanks for being with us today, Mark. We'll do it again next month.
I will see you. Bye-bye.
All right. Mark Hinesley, he is the president, CEO of the Mount Juliet West Wilson Chamber of Commerce, and is with us on a monthly basis here on Coleman and Company. Tell you what, we'll go ahead and go to our break here. We've got a lot more coming up, so keep it here on FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:30. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Bates Ford. Get $50 off, $250 repair offer to owners of 4 to 10-year-old Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury vehicles. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Involving injuries out on the west side. Watch for the fire department. They got traffic blocked there at OHB at Highway 100. That's near Bond Road. Traffic's increasing up through Brentwood, Franklin on 65 northbound. Looks good out of Hickman County on I-40 into Dixon County. Just some radar out in that area early around 840. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar is home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. Yes, they have other flavors. Check them all out at GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
This is Wilson County Mayor Randall Hutto. Our time spent together has undoubtedly been a story of triumph. We have quite literally been through the storm, and together we've emerged stronger than ever. After a decades-long career as an educator and a coach in Wilson County, one thing I know to be true is that when it comes to being Wilson County strong, we all proudly wear the same jersey. We will always face many challenges, but with you on my team, we will face them head-on, and we will keep Wilson County great. Vote Coach Hutto on May 3rd, Republican primary. God bless. Paid for by committee to elect Randall Hutto mayor.
This is Bob McDonald with Cedar Stone Bank. For 17 years now, we've been serving our communities in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Donaldson. We can serve you in the way that best fits your needs. We have all the banking technology, we have beautiful buildings, but more importantly, we have great people. On behalf of our board of directors, I thank you for banking with us. If you don't currently bank with us, please come by and visit us in any of our locations. It would be our pleasure to talk with you about how simple banking is simply better.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Clouds this morning mean we'll struggle to reach 70 degrees today. Thursday, looking warmer, partly cloudy with highs in the upper 70s. And this weekend is looking fantastic. Highs hitting 80 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm number one Ned.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us, and welcome to part 2 here on a Wednesday. Philip Etherly is with us to talk about Absolute Rental and Supply. Philip, good morning. Let me turn you where we can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning.
And you know what? It's not raining
It's
today.
not raining. That's right. A little bit of rain in forecast tonight, but hey, maybe we'll miss that.
Well, we are accustomed to April showers, but we've had more than usual, more than our share this year. And maybe that's a good indication for May. I don't know, but I know your business is pretty good, whatever the weather is, and it's sensational sometimes when it's really good weather.
Exactly. You know, a lot of our seasons get really busy, and this is one of those kind of seasons. I know it's been extremely cool, but we've still been selling a lot of mulch, a lot of pine straw. The grass is growing phenomenally right now, so there's a lot of mowers. Our mowers have been out on rent, so there's a lot going on. We're starting to see the pressure washing, people wanting to clean up after the winter. We're starting to see people want to get into that spring cleaning type mode, so it puts us in a really busy season. People are still aerating. The ground's in good condition to do aeration right now, so that's a busy time for us. So, we're blessed. It is a little wet, but we're staying good and busy.
And just a reminder again, and you mentioned this last week, I think it was, and we really hadn't mentioned this much before, but you do rent push mowers.
We do.
Lawnmower. If you need a lawnmower, if yours is torn up, or you want to just rent one from Philip, they're available.
Yeah, we've got I think it's a 22-inch push mower, a Honda push mower, and then of course we have the zero-turn mowers as well. We rent tractors and bush hogs. There's not a lot of people anymore that do that. I mean, I don't think you can call any of these national companies and get a tractor and bush hog. So that's one of the things we do. So like I say, everybody's kind of freshening up and cleaning up. We can help them do that.
Well, I'll tell everybody you're located on West Main Street, 1325 West Main, Absolute Rental and Supply. Website, absoluterental.com. And what you do is go to that website, then call 615-443-RENT when you decide what you want and make your reservation, or at least put your name in the pot for it.
That's right.
Same thing, I guess.
Yeah, we really do. We encourage that phone call to be able to make that reservation. There's no cancellation fee if you decide something comes up or rains or you can't do it. There's no cancellation fee anyway. But then we want to ask those questions as well. Make sure you're using the equipment for what it's intended to be used for, and make sure you get your job done in the most efficient way. So we do ask a lot of questions. I know some people get irritated at that, but we really are. We're trying to make sure it's a win-win for both parties.
You have stump grinders.
We do. Yeah,
you rent a lot of those?
Oh, we do. We've got like 4 of them, and they stay rented out all the time. So we have stump grinders. Chippers, another thing. A lot of people cut limbs down and so forth. They can chip those right up. So pretty wide, from wallpaper steamers to bulldozers. We're getting into that deal. But, we have a pretty wide variety.
Well, are you fully staffed right now? You looking for anybody?
Right now I'm pretty good. This rain has kind of got us slowed up a little bit. I've got a new delivery driver hired, and he's doing a good job. But, normally, they're just in and out all day. Well, because of this rain situation, we're kind of, okay, you may have to go do this for a little while or go do that. But, right now I'm in pretty good shape right now.
Well, you've been in business for 20 years, almost 21.
Almost 21.
You have been hiring people. You haven't done it by yourself.
No.
When you start, you had some employees, I guess, from the beginning, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I had to hire. I started this from scratch, type deal, and my wife and family, they've been very involved in it. In the beginning, I'd send my wife out to Nashville getting parts and this and that all the time, and of course the boys have been involved in it since they could lift anything. But we've kind of built, and we probably maintain anywhere from 5 to 10 employees throughout the year all the time. 7 to 8 seems to be our sweet spot number. But I've had a lot of help and been very blessed.
Do you ever need part-timers maybe in the summertime?
Oh, yeah. I talked with a gentleman yesterday, or a young man yesterday. He's wanting to work after school. And on Saturdays, I said, sure, come on up. And so we talked and plan on calling and getting him to come up. Yeah, I like that. I like giving people an opportunity, especially a lot of young people today don't know what physical work is. And if they come to work at Absolute, they'll learn it real quick.
Well, yeah. you've got work to do, and that's what they're there for. That's why you hire them, to help get the job done.
Yeah, nothing wrong with good sweat.
Well, again, 615-443-RENT is the telephone number, and one you really want to keep in the back of your mind. But I think we've said this more than once, that number was not by accident. It was designed. You wanted that, and that's a good way to remember you.
It is. It really is.
443-RENT.
There you go.
Well, anything else before you go this morning?
No, just give us a call. Like I say, we're open from 7 to 6 Monday through Friday and 7 to 4 on Saturdays.
All right. See you next Wednesday.
All right,
and have a good one. Philip Etherly, Absolute Rental and Supply. And again, 615-443-RENT. We're about 23 before the hour, and Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell is with us to talk about last night's city council meeting, to talk about a big announcement probably that came out yesterday, and maybe even some more things. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Well, first of all, if I could do this, and I know you have appointed a new fire chief, and that came out. I don't know if seems to me that was after you were here 2 weeks ago, but I'm not sure.
Well, we mentioned a little bit the last time I was here, but I do want to talk about that. Jason Baird is going to be our new fire chief. He begins in May, and he actually was at the city council meeting last night and spoke to the council, and we welcomed him in. Chief Dowell's been the fire chief for a long time, and Jason's been the assistant chief, and so he's done a really good job. And when Chris announced his retirement, really, I thought Jason was the obvious choice. But I'll tell you a story that I told last night. One day I came into work, and actually I'd just gotten a haircut, so I was just a few minutes late. And when I pulled up to City Hall, there were red trucks everywhere, with Lebanon Fire on the side of them. I thought, what's going on? There's all these, fire vehicles here. And so I walked into City Hall, and the council chambers was full of members of our fire department. And I walked in there, and they handed me a letter, and that letter said, and they all signed it, that said that they wanted Jason to be their new fire chief.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them, guys, I appreciate the letter. I appreciate supporting him. That was my idea too. That's who I want to go with as well. So Jason's, he's well respected. He and I graduated high school together. He's worked for the city for a long time. In fact, he and Chris Dow came in the same class together. So he knows the department. He loves the department, and he respects its history. And I've talked to him, and he really wants to push the department forward, just like it has been over the past several years. I'm really proud that Jason accepted the job, and I think he'll do a great job.
All right. Well, we'll get him out here hopefully in that Thursday slot.
Absolutely.
I've already done something for this month, but
okay.
Come May,
okay,
we'll try to do that.
As I said, he begins in mid-May, and
okay.
So
well, then that'd be the right time.
Yeah.
Then okay, good. What else you got?
Well, last night, we did have a city council meeting, and there, a lot of it was typical, just business things, but there was one big thing that we discussed last night, Western Plaza, which a lot of people may not recognize that name. That's actually the old Kmart Center, where TSC and all that is now. That property is still owned by the people who developed it originally, and as we know, Kmart left there a few years ago, and ever since that time, that building has laid dormant. Well, they've come to us, and they're wanting to invest about $13 million into that property and redevelop it. They have about 5 national known tenants that they want to put in there. Also, the Goodies building as well on that side. And
quite a bit of space down there.
Yeah, and they estimate that once that gets redeveloped and those stores get open, that they'll generate about $1.4 million worth of sales taxes a year, and it's going to increase the property taxes as well. But the one thing they did come to us and said was that in the post-COVID world, a lot of your retail stores are not expanding, the big ones, that people want, because there's a lot of online shopping now, and it's a tight market. So they did ask us if we could help with some of their fees and those types of things. So last night, we put in front of the council a package to waive some of their fees, and also to use some of our hotel tax money, which is supposed to go towards economic development and tourism, to help them out as well. It was a $200,000 package total. And so last night on first reading, the city council passed that. And there was a lot of discussion about it.
But passed unanimous?
It did not. It was 5-1. But, I said last night that, this is a prominent property. It's one I get asked about all the time. It's right there on Main Street in a growing part of town. And its location, its prominence in our city, the types of stores they're bringing in. I told the council last night, I really feel like this is a good move. Sarah Hasten, our economic development director, has worked hard on this. And, last year we did something similar for the Publix on 109. So it's not anything new. But, with that kind of sales tax coming in, really revitalizing a part of town that's been important for a long time, I really felt like that's something we should help invest in as well. So that passed on first reading last night.
Don't you many times really need to do something like this? Now you can go overboard, and we've probably seen that happen a few times, but to at least encourage That's got to be encouraging to somebody to come in. You're changing the structure and a new type of business, and and they are, I guess, sticking their neck out a little bit here.
Well, I think so. And you're right. We have to watch out for these kinds of things. But on something like this, the return on investment is going to come. And I can tell you, they've had some businesses that have come to them in recent years wanting to rent that space that actually we didn't want either. Like there was a mini storage facility that wanted to go in there, and that does us no good. So we really felt like that, the return on investment's there. But I can tell you, Coleman, that in this post-COVID world, those larger stores, retail stores, a lot of your restaurant chains, your sit-down places, they're really changed their business models about they're being careful where they go to. And a lot of them ask for things. And so we really have to pick and choose, what's the benefit to us, what our citizens want. And this is not something we want to do all the time. But I think at special times, it's a good idea.
Well, just one other thing, the opposition to that was what was the...
Well, there were a few of the hotel owners who came out and said, they'd really like that money to be used on tourism, and I've set up a meeting with them to talk about some ideas of what we can do to help tourism in the city, and help bring people to stay in their rooms, because I understand that. So there was some opposition to that, but I am going to meet with them, and over the past year, there have been a couple of tourism opportunities for us. The Legacy Sports that went to Murfreesboro, they looked at 2 properties in the city of Lebanon. I really thought we were close to getting them, but as I said last night, if they had come to Lebanon, I promise you we would use some of that money, for tourism. And so, we've had some other opportunities as well. So I wanted them to know, and I want everybody else to know, we have not given up on tourism. We're focused on that as well. We want people to come here and stay and shop, but they have some concerns about that too, and I understand that, and we're going to meet about that and talk about it, and make sure that we do some things to bring people here to spend the night too.
Okay, Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell is with us. It's time for us to take a break. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford and get a battery installed on most vehicles for $134.95. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic's finally starting to build. Vietnam vets coming inbound towards I-65. Same goes for I-24 through the Jolton area. 5700 block at Edmondson Pike. That's a crash over in Nippers Corner. Trying to clean up a wreck with injuries. 5700 block in Nolensville. Pike's got traffic a little bit tight up there in South Nashville. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar is home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. Check them out today at GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
This is Philip Etherly with Absolute Rental and Supply. Whether it's cleaning, painting, remodeling, or simply getting better organized, we have the tools and equipment to get the job done. Scaffolding, paint sprayers, ladders, power saws, portable heaters, temporary lighting, generators, hardwood floor stapers, from wallpaper steamers to bulldozers, Absolute Rental has what you need. Call 615-443-RENT. Absolute Rental and Supply. We have what you need.
It's time for a change in Wilson County. I'm Philip Warren, and I'm running for county mayor to provide a fresh perspective, proactive ideas, and lead with integrity. I believe in term limits from the courthouse to Congress. After 12 years, it's time for new leadership. I will lead as mayor as I've led in the past, with a focused vision and the goal of making government serve the citizens of Wilson County. Proven Republican, proven leadership. I'm Philip Warren, and I approve this message.
Hi, my name is Ethan Shelton. I'm from right here in Lebanon, and I'm a senior on the Cumberland Phoenix baseball team. We have our final conference series this coming weekend versus Tennessee Southern in Pulaski, Tennessee. If we win this series, we can win the Mid-South Conference Championship. The first game is Friday night at 6 p.m., followed by a doubleheader Saturday at 1 o'clock. Hear all the action on WANT 98.9 FM, WCOR 1490 AM, WANTFM.com, or GoCumberlandAthletics.com. Go Phoenix.
Coleman and Company, welcome to our final segment for a Wednesday morning. Lebanon Mayor Rick Bell is with us, and we've got a lot more to talk about. So I know you had a news release yesterday. If you want to get into that now about the soccer fields and maybe an appropriation voted on for that and so on.
Oh yeah, Coleman, absolutely. You know, one of the things that happened in Mayor Ash's administration was they bought some land down 231. And the purpose of that land was to move the soccer fields off the airport. That's a real safety issue out there. One of the things people may not realize is that when those fields were put there back in the late 90s, TDOT Aeronautics Division actually banned that from ever happening again at any other airport. So, they didn't like that. And through the years, our airport has grown. Back in 2008, there were about 5,800 airport operations. That's basically landings and takeoffs. In the year 2020, there were 60,000. So there are a lot of airplanes landing out there, and we have known for a long time that that's not a safe situation. It's been a goal to get those soccer fields moved, and so last year I asked the council to help design soccer fields, phase one of the sports complex out there on the property that was already purchased, and that design came in. And we had a work session the other night to present to the council. And, I will say this, it was an open meeting, obviously. We advertised it. No media was there. And so yesterday we put out a press release announcing what we talked about, because I want to be transparent. I want people to know what we're talking about. I want it out there so, people can talk to us about it. But the estimated cost on the soccer fields, there's 5 soccer fields, one of them is turf, is a little over $16 million, and that's construction costs plus contingencies. And again, that's the estimated cost. So Stuart Lawson, the finance commissioner, and I, we've been working on this for a long time, and we've worked on the plan for a long time, and we've looked at cuts and all sorts of things. But the plan we've come up with is that we can build this with no tax increases. I think that's a key. If it involves something like that, then I would not be in favor of it. But we're in a position where we can do this.
First thing I noticed in news release. That is important.
It is important, and because in today's world, we're in with we know what it's like out there. We don't want to put a burden on people, and we can do this without that, and we can help the kids. We can do something for them. In fact, 2001 was a long time ago. And 2001 was the last time the city of Lebanon built an athletic field for youth. In that time, our population has grown tremendously, as we know. There are a lot of kids out there and families, and I really feel like it's time to invest in our youth again, and this is the plan we've come up with. But the way the financing works is we have $1.3 million in American Rescue Funds, which is the COVID money. This is on top of the money that we're putting into our sewer, and our infrastructure. So we're not cutting into that. We're using about $750,000 in our stormwater fund because there has to be some of that work done out there as well. In fact, in the stormwater area, we're actually putting retention ponds that are a lot bigger than they need to be, because we want to make that situation better. That's where water comes from, that comes into town, and we want to make sure we don't add to that. We want to improve it as much as we can. It's not much, but it is an improvement. I think that's important. Our general fund right now, our cash balance is about $49 million we have on hand. And Stuart and I really feel like that, obviously you don't want to spend all of that, but we feel like that, keeping it anywhere above $35 million keeps us in a good spot with our bond rating and everything else. So we want to spend a little over $9 million of that, get to $40 million. And then bond about $5.5 million. And the reason we picked that number is because right now we have 2 more payments on the Jimmy Floyd Center. and those payments are about $330,000 a year. If we bond $5.5 million for 25 years, that's the same payment. The line item is already there in the budget. We just replaced the Jimmy Floyd Center with this, and we can do that and not have any tax increases, not affect the budget in any kind of way when it comes to that. And people have asked, it's 5 fields.
Mm-hmm.
Why does it cost that much money? And I can promise you, I asked the same thing. I did. I have a breakdown in my office of estimated cost. Part of it is we have to improve Highway 231. Make turning lanes and those types of things. So people can get in and out safely, because there's a lot of traffic out there. A lot of it has to do with the grading. Just like it is in a lot of places in Wilson County, there's a lot of rock out there, and we have to deal with that. We are building a few buildings as well. There's a concession stand and a maintenance building, which costs more than people realize. But we also feel like that if we're going to do this, we want to do it right. We want to do something that's going to last for decades, that's going to be for kids, not just now, but 50 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to be a quality complex. And again, it's stage one. It's soccer fields, and we pick soccer fields for the safety issue. And then, last year there was a sports complex committee that designed a complete complex. But I feel like this is a good first step. It's something that financially we can handle, and it's something that we can build without burdening the taxpayers. We can also provide a benefit for a lot of people.
Well, I would imagine in your work session there were a number of questions from the various people on city council, but bottom line, are they pretty much with you on this?
I believe so. The next step is to actually put out the bid, and so on our May 3rd meeting, we'll put that to get permission to do that. And obviously, there's no spending money putting a bid out. That's just asking for quotes. And the real vote will happen when that bid comes in. That's when we'll know what the real price is.
Well, has there been any vote made on this at this point?
No, there's not been any votes made. Now, last year, they voted to have the design done, so right. that was that. But as far as construction, there's been no votes. It was just a work session for them to ask questions, discuss. They had a lot of good questions, and we had some great discussion. But from the conversation the other night, I hate to predict, but, they had a positive view of it. And it was even mentioned.
Well, you almost have to do something. I don't think, maybe you could, but I don't think anybody really wants to continue the soccer games over to airport.
It just can't continue over there. And in that situation, we have no choice. And, I've watched Isabella, our daughter, play over there when she was a kid. I've watched my nephews play over there. And I know people listening have watched grandkids and kids play, and people have grown up. And through the years, even before I was ever on city council, I've sat there and watched planes land and thinking, man, this doesn't look like a good idea to me. And now as mayor, we have a chance to do something about that. Again, it's investing in our youth. It's something that's going to be quality, and we're really doing this for the local kids. For those people, for those kids have a place to play. And
of your initial cost that you're talking about here, you're paying off over half of that from our fund balance.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And
so you don't have as big a debt as you would if you didn't have that to apply.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if we didn't have the cash to pay that much, I mean, this would be a lot more complicated. And we're lucky. In fact, just a few years ago, I hate to give the year. I think it's about 2018. There was about $15 million in that account. Now there's $49 million. So things have gone well here. Our economy has boomed, and I think we need to use some of that money to benefit the people.
Well, do you anticipate this to continue as things are going? Is any reason to think we won't continue to be able to continue to build that balance?
Oh, I mean, absolutely not. I mean, things are going well. I mean, it grows all the time, and we use it occasionally for one-time expenses. If we, need to, renovate a building or buy a vehicle or something like that, that fund is not to be used for any recurring expenses. That's not good financial management at all. But on a one-time expense, this to me, this is a good idea, and it's going to continue to grow. I mean, it's grown tremendously, as I said, over the past few years. It's going to continue. It really is.
Well, do you think that eventually there will be some maybe baseball, softball fields out there, maybe part 2 of your plan?
Absolutely. The Sports Complex Committee last year that was put together by Mayor Ash, they put together a good plan. They really did. With baseball fields, a couple of clover leaves, for softball and baseball. And as we progress in the future, we're definitely, not going to forget that. We're going to continue with that. But right now, we're focused on this. We're going to get this done, get soccer moved out there.
Phase 1.
And then we'll talk about the next phases. But there's one aspect of it, too, as well as I've been thinking about, is, there's a lot of indoor sports as well, that are very popular. And so, as we go through the future, if the money's there, we may do something like that, too. But right now, soccer is the focus for that safety issue, and but as we move to the future, we'll see about the rest of them. But yes, we have not forgotten about baseball and softball.
All right, we got about 2.5 minutes left. I don't know whether you've covered all your notes or not, but we'll let you go to 8 o'clock.
Well, there are a few other things I do want to talk about. The other day, this past Saturday, we had our annual City of Lebanon Easter egg hunt. The Jimmy Floyd Center and Fire Department sponsored that, and Debbie Jessen and Lisa Lane, they really helped out a lot with that. And it was a great day. Hey, we had a big crowd, lots of kids out there looking for eggs and candy, and the Easter Bunny was there. And, it was a great day. It was a great event. And, earlier we talked about events, and we sponsor several events, throughout the city. But I think the ones for the kids are my favorite. That one and Halloween on the Square, those are great events that we have for kids. And a lot of people turned out. But we do have another event coming up on April 30th. It's our second annual Let Lebanon Shine Day, where people can sign up and meet us at City Hall on that Saturday morning. We'll go out and pick up litter and clean up around the city. So we'll put out some more information about that, but it'll be on that Saturday morning. And I promise you, we'll not keep you all day. We'll get you out of there so the rest of the day will be will be available.
A little work involved there, but you have a positive title. For
it's a fun day. It was a lot of work last year, but it was a lot of fun too. And then this weekend, actually, I've been asked to do something I've never been asked before. I'm going to throw out the first pitch at the youth baseball league, so when they get their season kicked off. So I'm going to try to warm up kind of like I warmed up for you for cornhole last July 4th, although that didn't turn out very well for me, but hopefully I can get over the plate.
I remember Mayor Craighead was asked to throw out the pitch for a Lions Club Babe Ruth tournament that we had, and before too many people arrived, he was out there with his baseball and wanting us to let him pitch in practice a little bit. So I know what you're saying. Mayor Bell, it's always good to have you. Thanks for a good report this morning, and I guess we'll see you on the first Wednesday in May.
Sounds good. I'll be here.
All right. That is it for a Wednesday, and I hope you'll join us tomorrow for the Thursday edition. And until tomorrow, I wish you a wonderful day.